Okay, I'm gonna try and get this shit fixed so it is not nearly so loud. Okay, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try and speak a little bit louder. I got the mic closer to my mouth. We're gonna see if it works. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. Her skin is paper thin, almost wispy. It's like someone draped a sheet of cobwebs across her frame. The number 594 has been sketched onto her forehead with a charcoal pencil. So, doing anything later? The corpse continues to stare at you. Very well then. Psst. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see it? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone? What are you talking about? What? Are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me. Wanted you to go away, maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth. You! Yeah, right. Trust me. Just beyond the grave, don't care about all that physicality, and I've got a body and I'm all scarred and tough looking. They want guys with spirit. That's me, Chief. You? Corpses like you are as common as copper. Whatever, Morton. Let's go.
I'm gone.
Just gonna raid everything that I can. Talk to people, try and get any items. Try and pull the note out. The note was mingled with the ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you tried to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get it at it looks like it will destroy the note. You'll need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the note. Use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. You deftly slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth, and the jaw sags open. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. Alright, we're going to leave that corpse in peace. The corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpse is laying there. The number 396 is carved into his left temple, and his lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in its hand. The bandages look usable. We're going to try and take them, and we got them. Okay. Now, we can put this here. And now we're going to read this. This is a foul-smelling note retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I'm prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into the strange pattern. Okay, we're going to use... This foul-smelling note has a strange-looking diagram inscribed beneath the writing. It looks as if it's instructing you to fold the corners of the note so their points touch the center. There is a series of strange marks on each corner. 1 mark on the upper right, 2 marks on the lower right, 3 marks on the lower left, and no marks on the upper left. So that's 1 mark on the upper right, so 1. 2 marks on the lower right. 3 marks on the lower left. Fold the lower left. You fold the corners inward. Fold. Wait. Fold the upper right, lower right, lower left, okay, fold the upper left corner into the center. As you fold the upper left inward to the center, you watch as the upper right unfolds by itself, resuming its normal position. Fold the upper right back into the center. As you fold the upper right corner back to the center, the lower left corner mirrors the action until all the corners touch in the center. You watch for a moment, and the corners of the paper raise up, turning the note into a small four-sided paper pyramid. Open the sides of the pyramid. We gain 250 experience. You peel back the sides of the pyramid and the paper disintegrates to dust. Inside is a small triangle-shaped earring. It catches the light and gleams brightly. Take it. Okay, and now we got a triangle earring. You received a small earring from folding a note in the mouth of one of the walking corpses in the mortuary. It's a beautiful earring, but despite its beauty, all it seems to do is remind you of how strange this world you've woken up in is. Some items are magical, but require you identify them before they can be used. Okay, so we need a spell or a scroll of identify to figure out what that is.
I'm gone.
The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings. Whoa, Chief, what are you doing? I was going to speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with Dusty should be the last thing. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down, and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick Dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place a laugh, the bet. Before Mort can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Restless one, do you know me? Know you? There is a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. He is silent for a moment. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. He pauses for a moment, catches his breath. I am dull. Perhaps you can answer some questions.
Updated my journal.
How did I get here? Dahl snorts in contempt as if he finds the memory repugnant. Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, restless one. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart to carry you. Arrived here on a cart?
Updated my journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses. He breaks into another violent fit of coughing, finally catching his breath. Your seneschal, Virod was, as I was pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate. Doesn't sound like you like him much. There are some I respect, restless one. Dahl takes a ragged breath and steadies himself. Virod is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, cross-trading filth of lowest sort. Do you know where I can find him? If events persist as they have, Restless One, you have a much greater chance of Farod finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time. Nevertheless, I must find him. A slight warning creeps into Dahl's tone. Do not seek out Farod, Restless One. I am certain that it will simply come full circle again with you none the wiser and fared a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery. I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
He is silent for a moment. When he finally speaks, he seems to do so reluctantly. I do not know under which Gutterstone Pharaoh lairs at the moment, but I imagine that he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him. Thank you. I had some other questions. Know this, I do not envy you, Restless One. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. Dahl coughs, the sound rattling in his throat. It is the way of all things, flesh and bone. But perhaps we will meet again. Examine the books, take the page, read through it, take the page with you and leave. That is basically, when you get this logbook, it tells you of the things that come in, but there's a page that has been cut out. This is the page that has been cut out, and I believe this is you right here. Raid everything. Raid everything. This corpse 985 is stopped dead in its tracks. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks as if some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Try and help the corpse balance. You reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. Chief, you might not what? There is a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon, filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse, and even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the leg falls over with a wet thump. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It is snapped from the torso during the fall, and it doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that had spread to the rest of the body. I wonder if I can make use of that arm. And we get an arm. It is damage 1 to 6, speed 4, damage 1 to 3 piercing. So this is ever so slightly better, so we will use that. We have 3, he has 2. Okay, we're going to go back up here, and we're going to give Mort this bandage. That way we both have 3. Now we're going to talk to Iveen. You see a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck make her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Greetings. The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. What's wrong with your hands? The woman makes no response.
Updated my journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got fiend blood in their veins, usually because some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and addled looking too. Tap the woman, get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Greetings? She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't quite make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted. You! She clacks her talon fingers together. It makes a strange motion with her hands. Find, thread, and embalming juice. Bring here. To Ivy. Go, go, go.
Updated my journal.
Now this next part is actually a little cool. We can trick this guy here. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. The number 821 is carved into his forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, seen anything interesting going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. What? You're not a zombie. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar half-frightened, half-angry expression. Oh, you! What you want? You want to lie and say, why, I was looking for you. Looking for me? Why? He's going to, you got a message for me? We'll say, yes, I have a message for you. I have your new orders. I am here to relieve you. Give me all the information you've gathered, all your possessions, then leave.
Updated my journal.
The zombie looks disappointed, but he shrugs and begins to fish deeply into his stained tunic. Been quiet. Dusty's been quiet. Nothing new since last report. After a few moments, he hands you some items and grunts. Here. Judging by the smell, they must have been hidden so as to avoid turning up if he was searched. May leave in short while. Leave? How? You want out? Go to arch on first floor, northwest room. You need fingerbone shape of crook. He holds up his index finger and bends it into a crook. When you have key, go to arch. Jump to secret crypt and can escape from here. Secret escape route. You can rest there. Where am I going to find my journal? Maybe in one round somewhere. Look in storage rooms on upper floor. Alright, I had some other questions. How did you get to look like that? Me good at disguise. The zombie giggles through stitched lips, then taps it. Dusty, stupid. Yeah, they're stupid ones, alright. The sarcasm is evidently lost on the zombie, who nods eagerly. Stupid Dusties. Me make good zombie. The disguise is pretty good. Can you disguise me as a zombie? He looks you up and down for a few moments, mumbling to himself. Me need jar of embalming fluid. Points at the scars on your chest, and some needle and thread. Some embalming fluid and some thread. I'll go see if I can find some. Now, he did give us one of each of those, and we got a knife, which is 1 to 3 piercing, speed 2. Basically the same as this scalpel. We get 3 more bandages, so we'll go ahead and make ours 6. And now we can go back to Iveen, and when we get some more, we will come back to him and get the disguise. So let's go back to Iveen. And we will save here and pick it up in part 3. Thank you for watching. See you next time.